So hi and welcome to this second week of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Last week Leon spoke really well about Jesus being a wonderful counsellor, and we're taking our text and from the verses in Isaiah, which is Isaiah 9 verse 6. So if I just read that again, and let's just remind ourselves of what we're talking about. And Isaiah says this, he says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." And I don't know about you, but I think many people looking at our world today would struggle to even believe that Jesus is God, let alone that he's a mighty one. And as I look into the world, sometimes that question crosses my mind too. And in this series, we're finding out that there's more to a name than just the letters that make it up. And mighty one in the original Hebrew stands for El Gibor, and El relates to Elohim, which is all about God being almighty, and then Gibor is actually translated as mighty, but it has three very distinct meanings, and they are hero, warrior, and champion. So really we could say that it's almighty hero, almighty warrior, almighty champion, or even almighty mighty. And this verse tells me that when I look at Jesus, I see a characterization of who God is, of who the Father is. And if you remember back in John, he was very clear in John 14, verse 9, it says that anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. And I don't know about you, but how often I need to remind myself of that. Now, every time I face tough times and challenging things in my life, every time I look at the world and I see things that are going on, I need reminding that my God is mighty. And people look for heroes, don't they? They look for them, especially in times of trouble. I don't know who your heroes are, but I'm sure you can bring a few to mind. Some will be really famous. Some might even be people that are known to just a few who know the stuff that they've done. But they're all human. And as human beings, we'll always have a flaw that prevents us from being perfect. And I'm not saying that there aren't heroes in our world. There have been many, many heroes in the past, and there will continue to be people who do heroic acts in our world. But we can never really have a really meaningful relationship with them, can we? We can never really get to know them. We can never get them to sort of interact with our lives in the way that Isaiah says that in Jesus we can. Because Isaiah says that this child, this son that is given to us, will be the perfect hero. There won't be a flaw in him. There'll be nothing in his closet that will come out in 20 years' time that will discredit him from all the good stuff that he's done in that valiant and heroic act. Jesus is the hero that will never disappoint us. Jesus fights battles that I could never win. Our El Gibor is doing mighty acts for us that there's no way I could do for myself, that you could do for yourself. And I want to challenge us today about the type of hero we are making Jesus to be in our lives. Are we making him a safe hero? Has he become a fantasy hero that makes little or no difference in your life? That he stays with you on a Sunday, but he doesn't follow you home? Have we slipped into making this mighty God fit my agenda, fit your life? Has he become more hidden than he was before? Have we stopped looking for his intervention in our life? And in week 1, Leon looked at Wonderful Counselor and how that Wonderful Counselor is somebody who comes alongside us in our lives. But I want to take that step further with you this morning. I want to take that step further to this, that if he remains alongside us and he stays the Wonderful Counselor, that isn't all that Jesus wants to be in our lives. Because as the mighty God, he actively gets involved in the life that he's walking alongside. If we let him. If you let him. If I let him. So where might you need to see the mighty God in your everyday life today? Where might you need to see him in your daily routine? Where might you need to see a hero, a warrior, a champion today? Because I want to remind you, he fights for you.